Video check, radio check. Work at work is in the AO. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for another run of Motorsport Manager. Well, I was supposed to do something else for today, but I realized that I've only got 2 days left in the stream week. Day after tomorrow is going to be another break day, so we're going to knock out a few stages in the 2024 season for the time being. And if we're pretty lucky, we might be able to finish the season tomorrow if we don't run into some mishaps on the field today. Not exactly confident about our prospects today, to be honest, since as the weather report says, it's going to be another rainy week and race weekend rather. I expect the pattern to continue for at least a couple more weeks. Well, chance of rain 10% for at least after this. Looks like it's a very stormy season, at least for the last half of 2024. It's going to be a problem for our drivers since we're not exactly wet weather experts. Both of them aren't. The situation is a bit cruel. What do you call it? Driver situations be on and as conditions are. Well, series skills have all peaked, which means that even with his 4 and 1/5 here, he's not exactly running a good number of layups here. Perez, meanwhile, is still building up some of her stats. Adaptability is improving at a rate of 2%. Example, Focus is still at 11, but she can still grow that up. Thanks to the staff center, we got a boost to that. Feedback, not much in growth, so is improvement. Fitness, that is. Overtaking, also very slow. How about our crew? But at the very least, it looks like our mechanics are still pretty much okay. Yes, they're still growing, but they're growing at a really slow rate, which is kind of annoying. Do I want to replace him? There might be some pretty decent not drivers, mechanics in the next run, but I feel like I can still use Tom's abilities. Just need to get the pit stops boosted up a bit more. Fortunately, that will require extra buildings, which, well, we cannot really afford right now since we're doing a lot of upgrading and all that. Apparently, they don't really grow that fast, even if we upgrade them. If we can get, if we probably get the staff center up a bit more, there's a good chance we'll actually get some better improvements for the next season. But I'm really trying to save up the money so that I can get a road car factory up. Where is that road car factory going to be built? Out here, up front of farmland. Ugh. That poor farmer is going to lose most of his hay, I'm afraid. That's not for a few more miles yet, or a few weeks yet, rather. Alright, looks like we've got some performance work done. Working on assisting Samantha with improving the reliability of some of our parts. This guy, really high risk of rule break. That's going to be for next season. Be enough to keep us alive the next few runs at least. This one doesn't have a rule. Yes, yes. Okay. This one does though. Can't use that, I'm afraid. Just have to improve. That one's already done. Just have to improve the reliability instead. We got a build on queue 19 days for a new engine, which I will use for next season. Speed corners, we're now down third as Octane and Zampelli have gone ahead of us. And Zampelli's engine is still on top. Know that's gonna reflect all on them, or it will actually help us instead, because Zampelli has been ahead for a good time as far as car parts are concerned. Oh, they upgraded factory. Yeah, they got a boost in their factory now. They're now at level 3, I suppose. increase in part development and part development staff and factory plots. To the theme park. Nah, apparently the theme park isn't exactly a good investment. You should invest more in your road car factory instead, since the return on investment may be slow, but it is continuous and it can grow faster as long as you can capabilities of your car or your drivers. So, ooh, no, R&R was this. Can you feel myself recently, and I think I need a short break. There's a fantastic spa nearby, and I normally go to, but I want to be able to get the best package just to be certain I am better. I really appreciate the support. Yeah, okay. I know it looks like I'm coddling the drivers, but better than nothing at this point. He is, after all, on top of the scoreboard so far. That's not gonna last for long since I can see Gansler and Vidal just snaking, getting ready to scoop up the pole position again. I do wonder how bad will it be. Ah, Gelfred and Yokohama at the same time. Let's see what happened. What happened in lineup. Zini getting a 1-2 for once. Not enough to get Parisi out of third, though, and Lippanen is still on top, tied with his partner Tanakuchi. Lippanen did not. Oh, no. Lippanen and Tanakuchi flipped around the script, with Tanakuchi getting sixth and Lippanen getting seventh, but they're both out of the top five, so no points awarded for that one. How's everybody else doing? Well, White is still in the top five, but he is down with 16 points. Winslow Racing Z Hamilton is up to fourth. And Sudikov got thrown down to 6 because of performance here. Down to 4th, couldn't get past Clevelainen. Scores 4 points for Panther. That's not exactly enough to get him up. That's his only point so far. He's currently 9th. Meanwhile, in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, looks like Kruger is doing some pretty nice stuff here. Alboa Esperanza, second with Costa. Third is Benetti from Balbuena. Wait, I thought what, she would. Are you in racing team back then? Well, they still didn't have enough to dislodge Krantz, who is still at top. Armola is currently tied with him, just a bit behind because this is his only 12-point win so far. Perea from rounds up the top 3 on the Drivers' Championship. Surprisingly from Firebird MRT so far. Sylvander is down at 12th. And his teammate, the veteran Parker, down in 19th. Not exactly doing as hot as she was in the European Racing Series, probably having some trouble just due to the faster vehicles. Alright, let's see where we're going with this one. That's a lot of empty. What? Where'd that come from? Okay, we're currently first in place, and now we have a vote. Nah. Sorry, Chief. Not now. Pretty good on votes, I think. Okay, here's a report. I believe work is done as well. Guildford will be 23 laps, which means we have a good chance of getting one stop, as is the usual, although the weather is going to be a problem. 20% chance of rain. That increased from the last. Archer BMR have the best engine so far. It'll be a problem since we don't really have the firepower for that. Driver line. We might, if we have to. I think if things go as they are, we might be able to. And it'll take a while, but I think we might find a younger, a more effective driver that's also a pay driver. We can probably let Vossu's contract dry up in the next season. Don't know if that's gonna be okay. Okay, let's see that gossip. Dembele looking good. Archer's Tianun has odds on to follow up with his in the last race in Munich with another victory in Guilford, where his car is expected to perform very strongly. Sources from inside the team tell us the mood at the factory is buoyant. We're looking forward to another great weekend. Yeah, that's Octane Race. Hornblad's having a bit of a problem. I think the higher-ups need to have a long, hard look at what we're doing here at Octane, because as a team, we're really having a tough time right now. Yeah, it's not just down there in the tarmac, it's also somewhere in the pits. Looks like they have some problems with their pit crew. I thought we were struggling. Speaking of struggling, chairman's not happy about all the money we're spending just halfway through the series. A problem in the long run unless we can find some more bonuses, which not for. Maybe we can get better investments. Okay, what's this? Engine design is complete. Perfect. Factory staff is idle. Probably improve reliability and performance of that. The only thing that's working out. Everything else seems to be okay. Or do I want to get another one? I mean, I can probably get another front wing that can help us. What's our setup on the front wings, actually? Front wings are currently at great and great. Got one that's low risk of break, but that's probably for the next season. Good and great. Not exactly top of the line, but will do probably for the rest of the season. Let's invest at least one more front wing. Go for maximum risk. Let's speak. That's big red. What the heck? That's a step right there. Got two slots I can use. It's reliability and red zone boosting. I don't like that. Reduce the red zone? Eh. But increase reliability, but increase the red zone as well. Eh. Increase the red zone. Oh, let's reduce the red zone instead. Probably reduce the build time? Speed corners. Nah, let's go for lower red zone. And that's going to be the last build we'll have for the season. Then we can probably coast along as we go. Hopefully, this will be enough to keep us afloat. How about our sponsor deals? What's going on there? Still got two races with Golden Tiger and Transantarctic, but we only got one race left with Condor, which means our assured bonuses will go after this one. Brutus Tires is still paying $100,000 per race, but they're down to 5 races. Cortez is also down to 3 races, and Hypertech, which is paying out $500,000 per race, is still up at 12 races. So I think we're still pretty good on money. I am worried that Condor Telecom is going pretty manageable as far as sponsor bonuses are concerned. We might have to concede some points here. That's a bit too early. Ooh, now we're down to 5th on the low-speed corner line. Not exactly a good sign there. What do you want to go with? I mean, Transantarctic is good at $1.4 million in bonuses, but they want us to be 2nd or above. Condor Telecoms can only provide us with $800,000 in bonuses, but they want us to be 4th or above, so that's a bit of a nice run. I think we're okay with that for now. Why is he only happy? Don't know how they're dealing with that, but okay, that should be enough for them. Let's save it one more time so that their morale boost is okay. Then we'll go into the practice line. Hopefully we'll get something clean out of this. Good thing we don't have to worry about injuries or sickness for both of our main drivers. Key point here, as much as I love using Bukalova for practice runs, I need all of our drivers to be okay for road work, because as long as they all drive, we can get their pay driver bonus. Stay alive on the road. Very sunny practice day for Guildford so far. Nothing new. Wait, hang on. Sometime after 3 minutes is gonna be a bit more cloudy. So we're going to need some more understeer, you know. Stat 10 steer, some more speed, downforce. Keep him, put him in super softs, and then we'll keep Nova in softs. Accelerations, softness, some downforce. And then let's go. Hopefully this time we'll be able to get some clean shots and get back our level 3 race trim. It's vital that we get level 3 race trim. Otherwise we'll suffer here, because Guildford isn't exactly one of the best lines for our drivers. Pit lane on Super Sus. Oh, business jet. I wonder whose business jet that is. Setup knowledge isn't going as fast as I want him to be, even on the outlap. Very cloudy so far. Probably change sometime around the 3rd minute. There. Clouds cleared up. Here they come, coming on our flying lap. Aero setup feels fantastic. Knowledge growth is still pretty slow though, which is a bad sign there. I don't believe that fastest sector setup at all. Happy with the gear ratio, she says. I don't believe that. Esteban saw coming out of the outlap. Genzo and Ramsey as well. Where's Takabayashi is just coming out. Everybody's on the road now. If their setups are decent about this. Okay, Wasu and Mukalova 1-2. I'm expecting somebody to drop in ranks as soon as the other guys come in. Vasu's got a good setup knowledge going at least, but Vukalova definitely needs a fix-up. She's rolling in a little too slow. I'm bringing him in. Okay, looks like Vasu also has some issues with handling, so let's bring them both in. A little more responsiveness by looks. I knew it. This was coming in. 0.5 of a second ahead. Okay, handling is awful. Ow. Looks like they need some more handling. Yep, definitely some more handling. Steering be a bit less downforce? Question mark? They keep that same setup stints. Or downforce is excellent, but their handling is awful. Like awful. That's why. Needed to be a bit harder. Your ratio should be okay, and bada bing, bada boom. We've still got 7.5 minutes in practice time, so I think there's enough time for both of them to get some more setup knowledge and boost that race trim up to a level 3, hopefully. Esteva is still on top, but Vasu managed to keep his second place. Bukalova, though, is down to 7th, so that's not a good sign. Esteva once again scoring top. Now Silvera jumps ahead, dropping Vasu to 3rd. Hornblad is at 4th, pretty nice and go in practice. Now he's down to 5th because Fani jumped ahead. And Bukalova is starting her next flying lap. Let's see if it works well now. Okay, getting some serious set of knowledge boost there. For Vosu. Handling feels much better, which means it's probably just yellow. Gotta have some work on that done as soon as possible. Esteban jumping ahead again. And now Vosu is down to 5th. Fine, crew reduce that. Let's see if Bukalova can get something out of that. Race trim level 2 with 4.5 minutes left. Ooh. Handling is still poor. Probably work on a downforce. Okay, reduce the downforce slightly. Low downforce would be working for us. Steer? Oh, okay, harder. Make the handling a bit harder. Increase the downforce slightly. 20 seconds. Dang. Bring Bukalova in. I think she's gonna need some checking as well. Setup knowledge unlock. Race trim level 2. That's good enough. We only got 4 minutes left. We gotta move this fast. 3.5 minutes. Oh no, Vosu's now down to 8th. Okay, downforce is still excellent. Speed balance great. Handling could still use some work, apparently. Okay. A bit more understeer would be nice. Something like that. Vosu down to 55% on his super stops. Still going out on the outlap with 2.5 minutes left in practice. Let's see if we can get at least... No, I'm sure we can get race trim level 3 now. There goes Vosu on his next flying lap. I think this is his first complete flying lap after all those fix-ups. Love is now down to 15th. What? What do you mean that downforce has gone worse? A minute left. I don't think we can get another one out of this. Downforce is poor. Handling is just good. Sign. Okay, so maybe a balanced downforce setup would be decent. Last one somewhere there. Slightly. So that speed balance should be okay. Softer on that one. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this will work. If not, we'll be forced to restart this. Only got a minute left, and the race trim is still at level 3. Come on, drivers. I mean, pit crew, get us done here. 26, 25, 24. Come on! Taking a while to exit the pit lane. Okay, race trim is at least at level 3, right? No, we didn't make it in time! Annoyingly, we failed to get the race trim up to level 3. Too late there. Handling's still okay, though. I'll take what I can get. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll just restart this run. It's a little bit of a extra support there. Wait, which one? Who's Vincent Villades? I don't remember which manager or which team he is a principal of. It was Watson from your word. I'm a worried woman after that practice session. You have no idea, buddy. We definitely weren't at the races today, annoyingly. It's raining. It's going to be hard going for this one. Only got race trim level 2, so we'll take care of that. Car setup, decent. for Vosu, but very nice for Perez. She's got one purple and one orange. We'll probably have to increase the hardness a bit. Okay, here's how it's looking. We could probably keep his handling down here, or we can jump it a bit further down to understeer mode. We'll have to see. Not too confident about this setup. We'll probably change the long run, and apparently it's going to be a bit of a long run as well for everybody else. We can probably stick to inters for the time being. Everybody on selection. Inter soft. Ooh, Hornblatt's going on softs. Interesting. Well, his teammate is also doing softs as well. No, Hornblatt's super soft. His teammate Silvera is at soft. They're the only ones who are not using inter tires. Very curious about that. We'll keep our drivers at neutral, maybe? Or since the situation's a bit on the run, we can probably go for push and keep the tires at medium. We'll have to see if things change significantly in the long run. Remember, it's going to be a one-lap stop unless the weather changes significantly. And oh, not a good start for Bosu, getting left behind there. Perez, meanwhile, manages to keep her 13th place, although there's a bit of a traffic jam ahead of her, so she can't really run that. Bosu not exactly doing too hot in terms of acceleration, and the traffic is getting annoying with a really narrow road. Not exactly a lot of space there for overtaking. Perez almost got there, but, well, Lormore was right ahead of her. Hornblatt is stuck at second, and his tires are getting chewed on pretty easily. We haven't even gone through most of lap 1. Wait, we haven't gone through most of lap 1, but this is a little too hot on his tires. Now down to 88%. Perez in the middle. She's about to lose to Bilio by the looks of it. Acceleration not exactly too hot, especially on the straights. Now she's down to 14th. Couldn't keep it ahead there. Griffin still ahead. Lopeclua and Tia Nuna changing positions. Vidal jumping over El Sadat. Gansler and Bosu in the back. Gansler is just biding his time, but he's pushing a little too hard there. Tire-wise, at least. The setup reversed. Ooh, Ramsey now jumps over Perez, and she's down to 15th. Not exactly a good sign for a driver there. Also having a hard time keeping it on top. Takabayashi is now climbed to 4th. Bondi is now in 5th. A lot of exchanges there at the start, at the front of the pack as we start lap 3. Now, if we can keep it a little tighter here, there's a good chance we might be able to get clean. Just couldn't get it to go there. Perez almost lost it to Sa as well, but she's trying to hang on. Half a tire, to be honest. Ooh. Sorry, unfortunately, she can't keep it through that hairpin, and now she's down to 16th. Bosu still unable to take advantage of anything in the back, and he is stuck there. Jumping over Vidal for some reason, but I don't think he has the acceleration to stay in 19th, and now he's back to 20th. He's having trouble keeping it in. Perez now up to 14th. But can she keep Ramsey away from her? Nope, doesn't look like it, and she is now back to 15th with Ramsey getting ahead on that pack. Ganser also ready to go. Overtake on that chicane there, getting ahead of Gansler. Bosu is now up to 18th, but can he stay in there? Nope, he goes down to 19th as El Sadat blocks him off. At the start of lap 5, and our drivers aren't looking too hot. Neither are Hornblad and Silvera, who are all the way back here for some reason. It's mostly because they're using softs and super softs, and their tires aren't exactly built for these kinds of weather situations. A little too early to push our tires a bit. Now, Vosu is just at 18th because the other two, or the Octane Racing drivers, are a bit on the slow side thanks to the wrong tires. Things are going to dry up in the middle by the looks of it, so we're going to have to switch up the usual and go to super softs there. Possibly. Really be nice to get a better forecasting center, though. Now, in the start of lap 6, we still have not seen any changes from both of our drivers, and the pack is starting to break apart. Griffin, Schobert, Tianuna, and Takabayashi round up the top 4. Griffin really pushing it forward. Like Zampelli might have a boost up here, although that's still not enough to get them in top 5 for some reason. I guess it's because they've been suffering all season, despite having some of the best car parts in the region so far. Perez unable to take advantage of that pileup and got blocked by Ramsey in exchange. El Sadat probably getting a bit more defensive here. Although it's more a case of Vosu having trouble keeping up. Perez almost get that overtake. Yes, she's got it. Too bad she can't hold it in. Ramsey once again takes her 13th spot. Wait, what? Tire temperature is going to be an issue now. Time to push. Looks like our driver is having a bit of a run up there. And now we are at the start of lap 7, and Perez is at 13th, while Sue's still at 18th, mostly because of the Octane Racing drivers in the back. Tire wear is starting to really do some damage for us, because we kept our tires a little too cold. Now, can both of them take advantage of things? Looks like they might have some trouble, as Ramsey is just about ready to get the 13th position back for Silva. Perez trying desperately to keep things alive. Almost got the overtake. Lormore's just a little too sticky on that inner corner. And she keeps her 12th place ranking as we start lap 8. Bosu definitely in the pain of things as El Sadat keeps him away from everybody else. Not much of a change up front, mostly because of the weather. But things might switch up a bit as we enter the next half of the race here. And Bosu has every reason to complain. It's really hard keeping or getting past El Sadat because of the tight squeezing here. Oh, no! No. Silvera has crashed and is out of the running. That's going to be another black mark on Octane Racing season. Hornblad somehow or other switched out to softs. A bit too early for that, to be honest, and he is pushing to the limit just to catch up with everybody and avoid getting blue flagged. Need to worry about overtaking Sector 2, though, because everybody else is already ahead. Perez jumps up to 12th, jumping ahead of Lormore on that straightaway. Now, can she make a break for the last 10, or the lower half of the top 10? Osu jumps ahead, finally getting one over Gansler for some reason. It's like Gansler is probably holding back. No, he's not. What the heck happened? El Sadat is what happened. El Sadat pushed ahead of everybody else, and he is now in 15th. Perez 16th. Vidal is at 15th. Perez is now up to 12th thanks to that quick, tight squeeze ahead of Lormore earlier. Question is, can they keep up this spot, or can they take advantage of the trailing wins? No! Oh, wow! Perez jumping ahead of Sa in that corner. It looks like they've gone for a pit here. At least the other guys did. There's going to be a bit of change in tires by the looks of it. We could probably stay in for at least one more run and then see if the weather condition changes. We might have to switch to inters again. It looks like Elsa Dot has some car parts issues as well to worry about. Bilyu and Saab switch over to super softs. Lormor has switched over to soft. Not sure if that's because they see a different pattern in the weather? Question mark. We'll have to judge after we probably reach the middle of the pack. Perez now having trouble getting ahead of Love McClure was dropped to 10 for some reason. And Ganser getting really, really aggressive here in the back, just about ready to take over Bosu. Although he seems to have gone down a bit. Tia Nuna jumps over Schober here. It looks like it's currently a 1-2. Or no, it's not. Griffin is ahead by a good measure, but he is starting to struggle with his tires. Tia Nuna is currently at second, 7 seconds behind. There's Schober at 8th. That overtake near the chicane must have been a bit of a shock. Perez here having some trouble getting ahead of Lalpeclua, who has gone into backup mode and keeping her out. Not quite yet. Let's wait a bit more. Is everybody else pitting? I don't think they are. Yep, they're still pretty much ahead. Looks like we'll have to wait a bit more. And I'm seeing some extra wetness after lap 12, so we can switch over from there. Perez will need to switch out first, though. Hopefully she... no. Get a neutral for now. Bosu still having trouble keep getting ahead with Vidal and blocking his position, and Ganser keeping him blocked in the back. Might be a good time as any to switch around stuff. Might need to change Perez after this. I couldn't take advantage of that break. Still has Lalpeclua ahead of her. Everybody else is switching, right? Nope. Griffin is still on the run. Tia Nuna is also running. So is Takabayashi and Schober. Do we want to stay for at least one more lap? Okay, let's stay for at least one more lap, and then we'll switch tires. Maybe not. I'm switching out to intros again. Then, what's I can fix? Too long. Too long. Too long. Too. Wow, seriously? Everybody's tired? That's not a good sign. Perez will have to give up her current 10th place spot as we switch tires. Now we are starting lap 11 with Vosu at second as everybody else has pit to slicks. I'm expecting some really wet stuff out there. And it looks like Lalpeclua is also still at inters. Who's ahead? It's Marsh, who's still also on inters, but it's just about ready to pit in. This is also a good time to switch over to inters for our driver as well. Let's keep it going. Anything else we can pit? Nope. No need to repair stuff for... Wait, hang on. We can probably fix the rear and the front wing as well, so... Let's go with that. Uh-oh, Perez is now down to 12, but Elsa Dot ahead of her still. We had to keep her at balance for the time being, as everything else seems to be rolling away. I know they're starting to complain, but you'll appreciate this someday. Ow. Mistaken refueling, not a good sign. Dropping Bossu down to 11th. We'll make that 13th. Ooh! A bit of a block there. Marsh, I don't know if Marsh did that on purpose or it was just because she was just exiting the pit, but that kept her away. Olin Perez is now down to 14th place. We have to conserve the tires a bit. Bossu's now down to 17th. Looks like we're going to have some trouble here. As we start lap 13, 11 laps to go. Probably push our drivers a bit. Now it's starting lap 13 and our drivers are back again. Everybody else is entered. Schoberg came out a bit early and she's still in 9th. There you go. It's going to be a bit wet. Let's hope it stays that kind of wet, though. Because if it goes a little further out, we're done for. Starting at lap 14, everybody else is on the push-up. Time to switch it back to neutral as the tire wears, or tire heating is going to be a bit of a problem. Alright, it's at least in the middle here, so I think we're in good hands mostly. As long as we can keep our tire wear out of the cold zone. Should have been more. Starting at lap 15, 9 laps to go. Everybody else is still in softs, but they will have to change soon. As Ganser is getting caught up in the back there, and now we're taking advantage of everybody being on slicks. So they're now slowing down. Bossu is still blocked by Ganser for some reason there. Perez couldn't take advantage of that much, and she can't really... Ooh! Now she's getting the hang of it, as everybody else is now on slow mode thanks to those slick tires. 8 laps to go, and now we're pushing ahead. Let's see if we can get ahead of the other ones before they switch their tires out. Still down in the middle here, and everybody else up ahead are still on slicks and moving ahead speed-wise. 16 centimeters. 16 centimeters. The problem is we're still on 50% tire, or we're now down to 50% tire wear. But the problem is we've still got 8 laps to go, I think. Ooh, good running from Gasler there. Now it's 7 laps to go. 7 laps to go, and we are now 4th and 3rd as everybody else has switched, has made a belated switch out. Looks like we can still manage here as long as we can keep our drivers up and running and balancing the tire wear here. Going on. Hang on a second, something came up on my threads. Here's the problem, because Perez came in a little too early, she is now down at 44%. I don't think she'll be able to keep things steady here, as we've only got 6 laps left. And our drivers are also not exactly in a good spot. I think we can keep it at medium for the time being and then push it ahead once we've managed to keep our tracks up. Tire wear isn't exactly helping our lap times. especially since Perez is now down to 38 and her tires are really cold. Still got a lot of pushing to do. Lap 19, 5 laps to go. Everybody else is way behind thanks to that slick switch. I'm not too sure I want to switch out anything since everybody else here in the back is also having trouble with tire wear. We still got 4 laps to go. Or probably 5. Probably switch it up and push them a bit. 34%, 33% left on Perez's inters. We've still got a lot of running. 4 laps after this. Oh, you have to push that a bit more. Oh. Wasu also having tire issues now. Tire's almost cold. We gotta push that a bit. Not a lot of grip here. And we can't really get back to Schober and Marsh, unfortunately, because they're way ahead. Still have 4 laps to go, so we can probably afford to push some. Hopefully this should be enough fuel and tires to get us ahead, or keep us in the running at least. Uh-oh, Steva's just looking there in the back. There's a good chance she can probably snatch the win here. Tires are fairly worn, she's now down to 25. Trying to be a bit more conservative with the tires, I suppose. Now, 3 laps to go. Can Perez hold on? And get enough heat in the tires. Probably have to push that too. And pray, hopefully this works. I don't think I'll be able to get around there. I don't think Perez can hold on for at least 3 more laps. This is not looking too hot for our drivers here. He's got worse tire wear than both Schober and Marsh. 2 laps to go. Can we nurse these cars home? Come on, Perez, come on. You gotta hold on to your life. Maybe you can't get past Perez. What the hell's wrong with you, Vasu? Not good, not looking good. They got 1 last lap to go. Kind of push it to the limit. See if he can get home with this. Going for high. Let's see if they can get home. Perez is now down to 4%. She's basically running on steel at this point. Somehow or other he managed to get home there. Fairly nice result for both of our drivers, and now Perez gets a significant boost to 2nd place in the Champion Drivers' Cup. Guess the weather did help us a bit out here. Unfortunately, Schober for Lucatelli Racing is still on top here. Finishing with just 13% on the tires. Pretty strong break for the German. Surprising result here thanks to that rain. I have no idea what those other teams were thinking. They had better forecasting than us, and they chose to stick to slicks in the middle of the course. So we only did one stop, pretty much like what Esteban Marsh and Schober also did, which pretty much helped us stay in the running for a bit longer. Unfortunately, uh, we could have done better, really, if we managed to time our brakes fast or time our stops a bit faster. Oh well, I'll take what I can get. Unfortunately, that inches us a bit closer to promotion, and I am not ready for that. I don't have the money for it. Andy Vidal. Ganser, surprisingly down here on the bottom at 19th. Mostly because he switched to super softs and stayed a little too long on the road when it was starting to get really damp. Hornblad definitely not going to be happy about that, despite the fact that he was going for supers, going for the slicks for most of the race. He did not go for inters at all, which pretty much ate into his time. Same as for his teammate Silveira, who lost control sometime around lap 8, falling into the pit and retiring because of the wet weather. Those are stuck to inters pretty much won this race, as you can clearly see. Lalpeklua had a bit of a bad luck run here, as she's stuck in the 8th spot for most of the race. See those engineering, scrutineering stuff. No rules broken, thankfully. Unfortunately, Marsh was found to have equipped illegal parts, which means we are now on top with Verez. Oh, we got a fastest lap bonus for Vosu as well. That's the first time for us. Perez is now up to second, Vosu is third. That means we have a 1-2 on the podium. Well, technically 2-3, but who's counting? Ugh. That is going to hurt Archer BMR's scoring at this rate. 1-2. Pretty nice finish overall there, actually. No, that's going to be in. Ooh, yeah, that's a big jump there. Vosu now up to 119 points. Perez up to 94. 25 points behind Vosu there. And for some reason, or rather because of the poor showing here in Guildford, Ganser is now down to 8th with 84 points. 35 points behind Vosu. Vidal also dropping because of that poor performance. He's now down to 3rd with 91 points. Sa and Esteva, Sa and Esteva getting some bonuses for Exile and Motorsport thanks to staying on inters, and they're now at 4th and 5th respectively. Villieu, despite his early jump up thanks to the improvements with Zampelli Engineering, is at 6th, while Griffin, who was showing a lot of strong performance up front earlier, also is down to 20th still. Not really a lot of work for him, not really a lot of bonuses for the youngster. El Sadat also dropping to 7th. Must hurt the veteran here. Where's Fondi? Both Takabayashi and Fondi are still on the bottom, but Takabayashi jumps to 16th, going ahead of his teammate. Drops to 17th. And now we're 33 points ahead of Exile and Motorsport. We have to concede some points here because if we jump ahead early, we are done for. Rooting from Watson Industries this season. Put a pretty big bet on them. To do the business. You'd better deliver, Amelia. Delighted is an understatement. Very pleased with the strong result, but again, promotion is in the corner, and I'm not ready for that. Too bad we couldn't actually get pole. I would have loved it Vosu actually managed to jump from 20th to 1st so I can get the achievement. but I'll take what I can get. Chairman is very, very happy about that, but our marketability is stuck at 80th. In 495,000. If I had known I'd actually get second, I would have gone for the other bonuses, but well, we didn't expect that anyway, so. Championship and driver standings really scaring me out here. I don't like that. Now, let's see those messages. I think the team and the team mechanics will have a hard time clearing through. Got 20%, not bad, but Perez dropping to 40. Rather, dropping by 40. Not exactly a good sign there. Garuda Racing's Vidal had a bit of a disaster, finishing down 16th. I think it's Garuda Racing that's the issue here, not the driver. Vidal, as we all know, is one of the better drivers here in the series so far, and he did give us a couple of scares. Guess, oh no. 8 seconds slower than our season record. We had one mistake, but it wasn't dangerous, thankfully. あたさん、なんでやってんだよ、あいつ。Please tell me we got clean stuff on. Okay, we got a couple of new guys, but they're not exactly on top. At least all of them. Unless I can get a better crew. Unless we can improve the pit stop capabilities of our guys. Done for. Who's managing this? Switching over to the bridge for this one. Hopefully we can get something done for that. 11 weeks left until the design center is complete. Okay, let's save this one. Now, how is Tondela going to be? Is it going to be rainy as well? Nope, it's just cloudy. Which could hurt us because we're not as good with Tondela as we are with all the other roads. Calendar, how did we go on Tondela again? Finally, we actually got third there at least. I was gonna progress complete, sweet. Liability there, and now we're looking for another sponsor. Third or above, we get 1,300,000. Third or above, we can probably go with Vamusa actually. Chiffre, I have no idea which team these are. You link 6 races, we get an upfront of 1,500,000 and a bonus payment of 1,200,000. Gotta stay third or above for that though. There's also Iceny Security? I don't know how to read this. They get an upfront payment of 750,000. But their bonus is 1,300,000 for 6 races. Now, I'm not too sure that's gonna be helpful in the long run. Since their upfront payment is pretty low. I think I'll go with Valmuse for this one. Got 5 days until that new front wing is complete. I don't know if it... No, I made it illegal, so I can't use that. Still seems to be going okay. Front wing is almost finished. Okay, anything on the scout list? None of these guys are available for scouting. There's a good driver out here in Geraldo Alvarez, but I don't think he wants to be part of our... Yep. Wants to be in a higher championship. We're a little too low, so we can't really take care of him. Not a fan of being a leader. And he also has issues with resource hogging. Boris Vyovsky, timesheet. Crash Happy. Truck Racing Championship meditates. Renewed passion. Too bad he's not exactly interested in our run, and the other issue is he's not a pay driver, so. Mercenary. Pretty low. Why do a lot of the good quality drivers have terrible negative stats anyway? There's Delenquist, who was previously with Zampelli for most of his career. Who actually peaked, I think. Not. He's still got a lot of room for improvement, but he is not a pay driver, so that's going to be a pain. Tunison, another one. With Archer during the 2020 and 2021 seasons, but he doesn't have any bonus driver traits, so that's going to hurt us. We got Balkan, who was with Lucatelli for most of his racing. He doesn't have any stats we can use. Rock solid first lap hero caught speeding. That's it. Doesn't have anything else. We have Max Schmid. Fuel hungry. Dedicated. Molly Davis, a panic prone, out of shape, designing clothing lines. James Muzungu, skinny and meditates. Hjalmar Funker is a stock car and rally champion, wants to be #1 and is volunteering. I like that. Oh, Marsh? She's a timesheet hero and wants at home. Ina Petrie, awful at cornering. She's a racer. Get racing. Nobody else? Chelsky, Dubai expert, Yelenin, first lap and sim racing. Axel Dior. Isakoi. That's not a good spot. Yeah, I have no Olean AMR. It's an illegal part, unfortunately. That's a good thing. Ten weeks left on the design center. Not a good look for us. Blah. What's going on in the top flight? Looks like Windsor Race and Panther Race team actually got one over the race leaders. Lavoie, nope. Yep, Lavoie gets her 6 points and she's now in fourth for Panther Racing. Her teammate Kuivalainen, though, not really running too hot. Still stuck in the lower ends, currently in ninth. Makarova, however, jumping extensively with that extra 8 points, and she is now on 5th. Where's Lipinen? Lipinen is stuck at 5th, and he gets his extra 2 points, still keeping him on top. His teammate Tanakuchi didn't get anything and stuck at 9th. Parisi is at 6th, just shy of the points box. Definitely in the work there. Perea keeping it cool with Thornton Motorsport jumping up 12 points, and she's now on 1st with 37, followed by Armoa. But Armoa did not do much this run, with Boa Esperanzas de Oste getting the 2nd spot, and Bonetti getting 6th for Balbuena. Dodgy neck, not a good sign. 8 weeks too. Well, in the runs there. How many weeks? We still got a week and 3 days left. Tondela run. Performance improvements here. Oop. Designer, what the heck's going on over there? 25 laps. Which means we can probably do another one-stop race here if we're good. There's a 10% chance of rain, so that's going to be a problem. They're playing low-speed corners, which will be great for cars with excellent front wings, and Octane, despite the fact that they're struggling all season, is on top for front wing design right now. I mean, we could, but we need somebody who's reliable both on track and off track. Unfortunately, we can't really get anything out of that. And the really good ones will not negotiate with us. Good for engines, brakes. Front wing is the only one that's really a bit of an issue, mostly. He doesn't really have a lot of good, what do you call it? He doesn't have a lot of good parts here. He can only go for good and great. Nothing for average or epic alone. All of the really good designers are up front, and I don't think they'd want to work with us at all. So, but there's a Hashimoto who's good at front wing and suspension run so far. Adds a random legendary. Wasu is going to Tondela at the top of the driver standings, which former driver Fabio Torino is expecting to see change this weekend. I can't see Perez make up too much ground. Wasu is driving too well. We'll have to see about that. Hornblatt is feeling bullish, telling a press conference that our car looks real strong for Tondela, and we put a lot of effort in making sure that we'll give the fans from Portugal a great show. Hopefully they make up on that, because they are really struggling right now. Lucatelli's still having problems. Yes, Chief, I know our finances aren't exactly looking too. Is 9 weeks for everything, improving parts still. Right, performance work done. Oh, advice on love. What? I know she's not perfect, but at my age, I should start selling for what I can get. Do you think I should marry? Wait, didn't he already have this last time? What the heck is wrong with you, man? Oh, gonna hurt. I feel like he's gonna have some problems in the driver run. Just married. Boost for marketability and morale, but where's the annoying other half? Oh, it's a permanent one. Mechanic relationship -10. Oh, that's going to be annoying because it's permanent. Do I want to go for longer sessions? Because I feel like we're going to have a bit of a disadvantage there. I think I'm fine with the current track. The current performance rating of our practice run seems to be okay. I don't think I want to extend that. Wait, let's save up here first. Then go and clean up the engines. A moose. Wow, Antarctic is actually a bit better on that, right? Still, but we still could get some numbers there. Okay, let's go with Vamoose for now. We still got 793, including the bonuses there. So parts are still pretty decent. think I think we'll not worry much. Well, that's the hope at least. But I feel like we can see a serious drop in fortunes here. We can maintain second. We'll be okay. Sunny Friday here in Tondela. Practice day for our drivers. Let's see if we can actually get something good out of this. Sticking to the Bukalova Boss Series setup to be a bit more focused on acceleration and some more understeer handling there. So a bit more downforce. So right, let's see if the practice runs will go decently. Keeping it in soft medium as is the usual. See how things go up from here. Exiting the pit lane on softs. With Bukalova on supers. I don't think they'll be doing pretty hot here. Remember last time we were in Tondela, we only got a third, and Perez went down a ninth. Very high chance that we'll also suffer some more issues here on the long run. Alright, coming out of the out lap, going to flying lap time now. Alright, suspension is struggling. Let's go with one lap. Need more responsive handling, apparently. Oh, a bit of a bump there. If that was an actual race, they'd be flying by now. Esteban saw definitely on the run here. I'm expecting at least Esteban to get first. And bring him in. Aero setup is fantastic, however, which is going to be helpful. But that switch up with the suspension definitely needs working now. Right, aero setup is wrong. I need more downforce, I got you. At least we got race trim up to level 1. 7.5 minutes left in practice. Ooh, Chu and Tia Nuna getting some numbers out here. Downforce is good. Handling is okay. So we could probably get some more downforce up here. Acceleration. Keep it out like that. Looks like Vukalova's gonna need some more downforce. And Bukalova drops down to 7th as Hornblatt gets ahead of her. While Sue's still in a pit for this one, though. Taking a while to get out of the pit, actually. Now he's coming up on the outlap. Let's see how Bukalova fares for this one. As she's now down to 9th with Lormore getting ahead of her. Tianuna jumps up to top. Silvera just a bit behind her. Downforce is poor. Handling is decent. Then keep it up like here. Well, Sue's still on the outlap. But I think he's about to get some more boost to his setup knowledge, at least. Wonder if we can get up something for the speed, for this race trim. Right. Tweaks of downforce are great. Looks like he's having a bit of fun there. Just a bit more and he can go to a high setup knowledge and we can push the race trim to level 2. But we've only got 4 minutes left on practice. I don't think we'll have enough time to get this thing done right. Bosu's still keeping 3rd, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep that for long. Oh, he got it into 3rd for some reason. Race trim is now level 2, but we only got 3 minutes left. The arrow is feeling much nicer. The handling is much better now, thanks. That's not exactly encouraging as far as feedback goes. I feel like there's still a lot of tweaking that needs to be done, but we only got 2.5 minutes left in practice, and that's not exactly a good sign. Bosu's still at 3rd, mostly because Tianun and Silvera are just coming out of the pit lane for this one. Alright, he is now in high, but almost close to great. Bukalova still needs a bit more so she can go to high setup knowledge as well. Much better. Okay, it's only a minute left. I don't think we have enough time to tweak. Let's just go ahead and hope they can go with race trim here. Or at least jump it. No, yeah. The focus is to get to race trim level 3. With only 10 seconds left, they're still running one more run with both of their drives. Just need to finish this lap, and we have enough time to get that race trim up to level 3, and we'll be good. Come on, get setup knowledge to high. There you go. Setup is now at race trim level 3, and both of them are high. Going to get Bosu higher, though, which is a bad sign. Very likely he'll lose some points here. Bosu drops down and is stuck at 3rd, with Bukalova getting a bit up to 8th. Whether that's going to convert in the actual race itself. You guys rock, any chance of a follow back? Ah, classic. Go Ramsey. I want a race to start now. Silvera still suffering from that dodgy neck, though. Gonna be a bad sign. Speaking of bad signs, it's really hot in Tondela right now on Sunday. We can't get nurse, but we can at least get engine expert. Quick fixes in race stream. Okay, that's good enough. I'll take that. Let's keep him in soft. Yep, we could have gotten some improvements on a downforce, but I think we'll go with this. Or then medium. Do we want to push already? 25 laps. I feel like we can stick to medium and let the others run ahead. Hornblatt is also suffering from a dodgy neck. Because of Silvera's only got 1 week left on that dodge. Everybody's suffering from neck injuries right now. What happened? Even Gandler is having issues. Let's hope both of our drivers don't go through that. Now we're gonna be sitting back while everybody else goes ahead. A good start for Perez. Vosu taking things a little too easy. He's now stuck at 20th. Oh! Uh-oh. Billy had a bit of a running wide issue on that one. And Silvera is now on top, with Griffin and Hornblatt going down behind her. Vosu couldn't get past Vidal on that block. Perez now trying desperately to get in. Yep, excellent defending from Vidal there. Vosu couldn't even take advantage of the wider inside corner for that one. Can Perez make it work here? Nope. Excellent blocking from Sa, keeping Perez in the wide. But looks like she will have a bit of trouble getting through here. Ooh, Vidal taking lead. Jumping up to 17th and 16th because of those slow speed corners, giving him a bit of an advantage. And now Bilyu is down here. Vosu down to 18th. With Sa jumping ahead of both of our drivers. Temperature still pretty decent. A bit of an exchange. Man, you guys had to tell Jacob to get out of my way next time. That was too close. Vosu might lose his 20th place here, as Bilyu is really pushing it just to get back in the middle after that rush up with the wide run outside of the first corner. Now Vosu is complaining after going a little too fast on that home turn. It's just Vosu and Perez fighting each other here in the back. Sa stuck at 17th, Vidal has jumped to 15th, although he was 14th briefly, though El Sadat got ahead of him. Lormore is now 11th, Silvera, Griffin, and Hornblatt are still on top. Bilyu getting a little happy here, getting ready to jump over from that outside corner. Just couldn't land it, though. And, oh, not good. Marsh has crashed into the tire barrier. Trying to slow down a bit. With the safety car now leaving the garage. Oh, let's not pit. We'll have to wait. I don't think anybody else is pitting. Just have to convoy out as we start lap 4 on a safety. Not exactly my kind of running. Thankfully, or hopefully, the temperature stays warm enough that they don't have to complain about tire wear as we go through this safety lap, safety car lap here. This is going to be helpful for everybody else up front, but for some reason, what? Griffin actually managed to get some, get a tire change out of that. He was already struggling with tire wear early. But with Marsh out of the way, looks like Archer BMR is going to struggle even further. And Pelly, Sala, who was oh, it's Tien Nuna for Archer. He's currently at 8th. Still got 1 lap left. Driving a little too slowly. I like this. Much as I'd like to push up now, I think there's no way we can get through quickly. Ugh. Man, can somebody please get to Marshall already? She's pretty much burning out there. Fortunately, we're still out on a lap. I don't think the safety car is going to be... somebody went into the pit lane. That's Hornblad. He's switching out. Now let's keep our tires out here. There he is. He's heading into the garage. As we start lap 5, we're gonna have to wait until we can... Ouch. Still couldn't take advantage of that. Hornblad is down at 12th with fresh sets of mediums. And our tire wear is starting to get into it. A good sign for all involved. We're just waiting on Silvera to jump up. That safety car is taking a while to push out. Well, he's starting to speed up at least. As soon as he crosses into the... or he goes into a pit stop, we're going to push our cars a bit further up now. Come on. Are you not going to start up? Oh, wait. Just a bit more. Yep, here we go. Oh, Silvera's switching to a pit lane stop here. But we can probably push in here. While... Yep, everybody's... Oh, a bit of a pit stop there. Did get some points up, or at least some steps up, thanks to the pile up on the home corner, and now 15th and 16th, no, 14th and 16th rather. Like at 13th and 16th with Vosu up top. Perez at 15th. Would probably go for another run here. Nope. Vosu is currently down thanks to that overtake from Vidal, but Sa concedes her spot, or maybe not. Currently still fighting with Perez here. 15th. Esteva goes down as well. Vosu having trouble staying in 14th. Can he get past Vidal? Yes, he can. Maybe he can't. El Sadat also blocking him. Yeah, no, he can't really keep it ahead. Tire wear is starting to get annoying here. As we start lap 7, 19 laps remaining. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about most of the tire wear since they're pushing it up on their own, but Perez goes down again with Esteban getting ahead of her. Vosu up to 13th, keeping Gansler away from him. Sa gets ahead of Perez again. Vosu up to 13th. Vidal a little over 3 car lengths away. Not exactly a good sign. Now approaching the home chicane, the home hairpin. And we start lap 8 with a poor drop here, with Perez now down to 18th. Vosu is almost ready to lose his 14th spot. Now Perez jumps over ahead of Sa again. How's it looking so far? It doesn't look like it's too fun for anybody. Marsh is now back in the garage. Very much smoking. Perez up to 18th. Still keeping Sa away from her. Tire temperature is going up steadily, though gradually, which is helping us stay in the run for a bit longer. Oof, Vosu goes down to 13th as Gansler gets ahead of him. He's going down to 16th as both Biliu and Esteva get ahead of him on that home corner just before the start of lap 9. Not exactly a good jump. Chu and Fondi have switched out tires and they're going for a quick fix, but they're now down to 18th. Still good on tires by the looks of it, but I think Ganser might, or rather, Wasu might conserve his. Is getting chopped up like a hot dog there in the back. Perez not worrying too much because her mediums are a bit more durable. But there's definitely a lot of work needed to get them back to the competition here. Saw really stubborn there in the back, keeping the tire close to Perez and taking advantage of that straight. Now she's up to 14th at the start of lap 10. Can Perez get back at it? How's people up front? We got Schober still ahead, 33% left on our tires. Valpaklua at second with 37. Tia Nuna rounding up the podium at 47%. That could change dramatically as we enter the second half of the race. Sa getting some more straights out here as she's pushing forward with all strength just to get back in the upper half. Ramsey takes over Lormore. Griffin jumps ahead of Hornblood. Getting really excited with all these position changes here. Bit of a knife fight there between Sa and Vosu on that interchange, and now we're starting lap 11 with a bit of a tight squeeze. Once again, Vosu going up to 13th. Perez struggling to get ahead of Esteban, or rather Sa now. Sa's really pushing it to the limit on the straights, but she's having a bit of a hard time making the most out of that. And now Silveira is just about ready to get past Perez. Not exactly a lot of defending from Perez there in the corners. There's a good chance Silveira will take care of everything up there. Sa gets ahead. And now we're seeing a bit of tire wear. And conserve a bit. Oh yeah, to switch Wasu up for we've still got 14 laps to go. I think we'll have to get Wasu out to mediums here. To keep it in endurance mode. Thankfully, his parts aren't going down as bad as we thought they would be. But there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done to keep them in the running here. Everybody else has started to pit, going for mediums as well. Perez down in 25th. We can probably run another lap with her. 24%. She's still pushing. Let's hope we don't suffer any mistakes here because it is imperative we keep our positions up. Perez at 12th. Bossy's going to lose his 11th place spot here. We approach 13 laps and Perez is now 8th. We can probably still keep her up there in the running. Bossu is coming out of the pit lane, getting ahead of Griffin and Bilyu. Looks like we have a stack up in the pit lane for some Pelly engineering. What? On over there. Perez now down at 19%. Can she keep it for another lane? Well, she's still pushing at least. And now Bossu's down at 15th, and Lormer gets ahead of her. Gets ahead of him on the pit lane. I think we can still put Perez for one more lap, and then we'll send her in for the pit lane here. As we go for 12 laps remaining. Perez is now in 6th. Question is, can she go up at it? How many laps left? 15, 16. Still 12 laps. I don't think I can give her softs then. We'll see. One more pit. Let's go to... Let's keep her at... Can we keep her for mediums? She's down to 14%, but I think she can still run one more. Then again... Fuel options. 11 seconds. Okay, that's that. No, it doesn't. Right. Let's see if this will be okay. Perez now at 5th. Bosu couldn't take advantage of everybody else on the pit lane, and he's still stuck in the back. 15th, in fact. Go for neutrals here. How's Hornblatt, Esteban, Vidal going? If they're pitting out as well. Now, Esteban's rolling with our 27%. I think we can probably go for a pit lane now that we're down to 10%. I can afford some of that. Go for neutral. No mistakes, please. She is now down at 11th, I think. Yep. Now 13th. Bosu is now up to 14th, and Perez is at 16th. As we go into the last 11 laps of the race, Chu has now jumped ahead of everybody else, despite the fact that he did get an early pit lane from everybody compared to everybody. Bosu is now down to wait, how many more laps? Tire wear is definitely looking like a problem now. Oh, you have to conserve this. Both of them had to be on conserve at least. I'll push up later when things are starting to get hotter. 10 laps to go. Bosu can probably go for neutral for the time being. I don't think we'll be able to get more points here, but that's okay because I can afford to drop in points so that I can go a bit lower and avoid promotion early. Chu still going strong and steady, and Tianuna El Sadat going for for the speed here. So that's going to be a bit of a problem in the late game, as it's still just lap 16, or rather to start a lap 17, 9 laps to go, and they might still have some issues with their tires. Let's see how things are going to happen here. Oof. Sa still blocking Bosu, pretty much like what it was earlier. It looks like Silvera is just about ready to jump in. Perez getting left behind, 10 car lengths away. Bosu probably going to need to jump in a bit more here. Still 74%. There's only 74% left on the tire there. Now Sa has jumped ahead of Bosu. Oh, Sa is still ahead of. Ooh, there goes Silvera. Bosu unable to get back into it. Now it's 15th and 16th for both our drivers. We've only got 8 laps to go. Is it 8? No. Oh, he's still 9. Or probably 8, really. I'm not paying attention anymore. Still got a lot of racing to go here. Can we get back into the winner's circle? Might lose the sponsor objective at this rate. Perez almost getting one over Bosu. Is now 7 laps to go. Probably get the tires up a bit more, as we still have enough space there. Ooh, Bosu had to concede that one. And now Bosu is getting angry that Perez got ahead of her. And Griffin is up top, 16th place. Looking like he'll have some more points up here. Tianuna El Sadat still working with it. 35%. There's a good chance they can jump out here. 6 laps to go in the run-in. Can our drivers get back into it is the question. Since we put both of our drivers on endurance mode here, I don't think they'll be able to get anything out. And I don't think there's going to be a change in the I don't think there's going to be a change up front, to be honest. Ooh! Bit of an exchange there between Silvera and Gansler. Silvera keeping Gansler away from that after his brief lead change. Now we're starting lap 21 with some people already getting in the pit for their second stop of the race. Perez and Vosu going for a real tight fight here. Not looking too hot for our drivers. Tire wear is still pretty decent, however. Well, it looks like El Sadad is going to concede his first place spot. Ramsey now ahead. Esteva also ahead. Starting at lap 22. And Vosu, for some reason, got left behind there. 4 laps to go. Perez couldn't get past Gansler on that last turn. Gansler pushing on the pedals there. Probably push the drivers a bit more. Well, the tire wear could probably look at... We could probably keep the tires conservative for a bit. Can at least get back into the top 10, but we will fail the sponsor objective by looks of it. Oh no, Griffin's still having problems with his car parts. It's like car reliability is not something he's happy about all season. We got 3 laps to go. Wasu is now down to 13th again. We'll make that 14th as Griffin gets ahead of him. Griffin, despite the fact that he's having issues, is still pushing ahead of our drivers, annoyingly. Perez down up to 12th. Can he keep Griffin away while he's trying to get back at Gansler? Ramsey, Esteva, and Schober still up top with only a couple more tires to go. I think we can afford to push things here. As we now go down to the last 2 laps of the race. Ooh, there you go. Bit of a drop. Griffin blocking both of our drivers now. Definitely no chance of getting into the sponsors. We're going to lose some money for this leg. We still got some things out of that. There's Griffith getting left behind on that home corner. Esteva, Ramsey fighting each other for first up front as we approach the final lap. Wasu finally gets ahead of a struggling Griffin. But that's not going to mean much as Ramsey and Esteva are still ahead up on top there. Sa and Chu also finishing ahead of our drivers here. Oh, Wasu is now down to 23%. Perez jumping to 11. Can she keep it until we get home? Nope, we won't be able to get any good numbers from that. That race was indeed a complete disaster, but it's not too bad, as Perez is still in the top 5, while Su's still ahead. Esteva finishing strongly for Vexala Motorsport on this leg. Unfortunately, looks like Vosu really can't do much when he's driving on mediums. Let's see if we get anything out of this on the rule break list. Oh, we did! It looks like Hornblad's gonna be a bit despondent. He suffers a 10-second penalty for that one. Oh, it's a time penalty because he cut a corner. Bilyu, despite having... Oh, no, it's Silvera who got the fastest lap bonus, but that's not going to be enough to push her ahead as she still finishes at 18th. Marsh, unfortunately, failed extensively because of the crash, and she only gets 1 point. Drivers are just 11th and 13th. Chairman is not going to be happy with this one. Perez drops down to 4th. Wasu, however, is still on top with 18 points ahead. And our team is still on top with 20 points ahead from Exala. Silky smooth indeed. Unfortunately, that's not going to be helpful for both our mechanics and our chairman. I think we're going to lose some mechanic relationships here. And also, there's the fact that we're going to have a bit of a deficit because we didn't get the bonus. Yeah, Chairman Happiness is down at 98. Mechanic relationship went down for Rosu. Marketability went down a bit. Happiness went down a second. At least we're keeping the books fairly balanced. I'll take it. Are things going on in the Ardennes? Looks like Clevelainen managed to get some points in, and now he is up. No, he's still stuck in 8th, though. Lipponen managed to score some points, and he is getting getting a bit away from his teammate Tanakuchi. And Hamilton gets his 6 points up, which will propel him to 5th. Parisi going down to 8th, not exactly a good spot. See those notes. Unfortunately, because of the mechanic relationship drop, we won't be able to use the bonus for nurse. Well, not that we really need it right now. Well, this is the first time Vosu's car parts dropped lower than Perez's, at least for this season. Okay, what's the interview? Very happy with our current drivers, really. Mistake-free weekend, but we're still behind on our pit time. There's definitely a need for the pit crews to be switched around. 8 weeks until we can get that new design center. Probably throw some of the races here. But I want to at least be in the top 3. Car repairs complete, so they can focus on. Oh wait, now let me get that news. Car provability. Okay, great. Yeah, we can work on that. We have 2 empty slots now. Unfortunately, they're pretty low. Luxina, yeah, sure, let's go for that. Pretty low on the current balance, though. How about on slot 3? Cupcake. You got an upfront and the bonus is first or nothing. Are you kidding me? Guess we'll have to settle for Vamoose again. Cortez is gonna leave us after the race in Milan. As our stats, we're now down in 5th and 6th in low speed corners. I wonder if we could make something about that. Maybe not. We don't have a wind tunnel yet. Okay. Can save here, I suppose. And then we'll move on to the next run. Not looking too hot, but I'll take it. It's on the next agenda. Oh no. There's an agenda for voting. Let's see. Medium length practice. Vexel and Lucatelli will not benefit low quality teams. We're somewhere in the middle, so I think I'm going to abstain. I don't really care much. Skip to the end. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it's rejected. That's 3 people going for a +2 on their voting power. That's gonna hurt them a bit more. On the news, reliability work will be done in a couple of days. Team championship, we're still on target. And how about Milan? Okay, Milan is going to be 21 laps, so it's going to be another one-stop race for us. It's incredibly reassuring to be involved with a team which has such a very healthy balance sheet. All of the mechanics and technicians who work within the AT are really happy to know that you got your hand on it. Tell everyone what we're prepared for any financial crisis which might come. Yeah, we're pretty much in the green for now since we're not really doing anything. I think we can probably improve the reliability on this one first. Pretty much done with everything. So do that as a bit of practice. Like that. That means there's something that I need to work on. How many more races do we have? Calendar says... Okay, 5 more races. It's happening in Rio for the Asia Pacific Super Cup. Team Keyta getting one over Kruger for this one. Fortunately, Thornton Motorsports Pereira concedes the top of the pops to Armoa, who only got second here, but got enough points to get an edge over Pereira here. Cristiano de Oste, suffering from a bit of an injury with his neck, managing to close up the podium for the Rio leg of the Asia Pacific Super Cup. Fortunately for everybody else, McLeod got the pole position bonus, which helps her jump up to 5th. Now both Team Keyta drivers are in the top 5. Everybody else is already going down. Firebird MRT suffers even more, and Sylvander is now down to 15th. Parker did get some points up, and she's now at 18th. That's pretty much it. Let's see what's up on the boxes here. Nothing much. What else do I need to worry about here? First, we have to worry about our investments. Second, we have to worry about our standings. Pit Crew is currently the worst in the series right now. That was a bad pickup. Wonder what will happen. Okay, pre-race cross-up in Milan. God. Giannuna is a hot favorite, according to former team principal Eddie Dubois. 5 races to go until the end of the season. We are rapidly approaching crunch time. While Sue claims that he's not feeling the pressure of being the man to catch. Is what he says, but I don't think that's the entire truth of it. Yeah, we're likely to struggle this weekend, with this being one of the less favorable tracks on the calendar for the Japan-based outfit. It's funny. He said he doesn't. He's not bothered by the fact that he's currently on top, but he's also going to be a bit of having a bit of a problem navigating through Milan. Remember, it's a 21 lap race, which means we can do one stop. Problem is, there's a 40% chance of rain, so let's go with Vamoose. Still in a good spot, I believe. But with 5 races to go, it could be a bit of a run-up. How's our parts fitting? They're still delighted, at least. Now here's hoping we'll be doing enough to get through the runs. As long as we don't drop below 3rd, we're okay. I can afford to lose spots, but I cannot afford to go below 3rd. Okay, get up. Be a high-speed run. Subs. Medium. Now let's go and take practice. Let's see if things are going to change out here. Milan is a very high-speed course, and currently our engine isn't exactly top-notch for that one. So here's hoping we can take advantage of the corners instead. Too many long roads without much of a change is going to be a problem, especially with our acceleration issues. Oof, bit of a kink on that one. Starting the flying lap, not exactly out of growth. Ooh, far too high. Yeah, too much aero. We're not getting any advantage out of that. Too much aero. Let's send these guys back in. Oof, okay. Vosu has pretty good handling and speed balance, but his downforce is a little too much. Drop it down a bit. Reduce balance, maybe. Speed balance definitely needs to be a bit more focused on speed. Reduce the aerodynamics a bit. Understeer a bit harder. Okay, that should be enough. Let's get you guys out there. We've still got 9 minutes to go on practice. We still haven't reached level 1 race trim, so we at least should go with that. Lorimore getting some good spots on the scoreboard here, but she's only 0.01 of a second ahead of Chu. Now Esteva jumps ahead, getting 0.3 of a second ahead of Tian Nuna, who finally goes up to second. Okay, getting some boost ups for Vosu. Bukalova's not exactly getting her setup knowledge fast enough, which is a problem. At least we got a race trim to level 1, right? Yep. Okay, now it's starting a flying lap, and it's starting to rain. Oh, dearie, dearie me. You know, getting fastest lap. So aero setup's improving. Do I want to switch out? Nah, I think we're gonna keep it dry for at least the next part of the run. I just need to get my setup knowledge up. Switching out to wet tires at this rate will pretty much affect our pace, since it's gonna be dry in the last 3 minutes anyways, so. Speed balance is feeling much worse. Right, well, Sue's getting a bit higher there. 4.5 minutes left. Race trim is just a bit below level 2. I just had to get Bukalova up. Okay. Okay, the speed balance got worse, but the handling at least improved. Okay, we need to get the handling back a bit, so. Arrows are good, we just need to get the speed balance back up. Need a bit acceleration, I suppose. Let's see if this works. Keep it up on mediums. We're not switching out to oh, nah, never mind. As all I need is the speed race trim and probably some setup knowledge up there. Now force fields bang on, nice job. Okay, that's gonna be helpful. Bukalova is now down to 20th though. That's because we haven't really got any really decent timeouts here. Who's that ahead of us? Drying up a bit, but it's gonna be wet until the end of this race. I don't think I want to switch out anymore. Just have to go at it until the end. Speed balance is right on the money. Now she's starting her flying lap again. At least get her to high. We've got a minute and a half left, and our race trim is just over half. No race grip whatsoever. Come on, just a bit more. Only a minute left. Can we get that race trim up? It up a bit more, just a bit more. We got okay, race session end. Oh, can we get it to level 3 at least? Yes, yeah, that's enough for me. Even though we're way in the back here, I'm afraid. Down at 19th, I have no idea why. And that's Bukalova ending the run at 20th still. Pretty bad practice run for both of our drivers, I'm afraid. Those said I'm having some problem. You and me both, brother. We got a lot of racing to do come Sunday. So here's hoping we can actually take advantage. Oh no, not again. It's gonna be another wet race here. Fortunately, because of the issue with the driver-mechanic relationship, Vosu still cannot take advantage of first. Speed balance kind of went down a bit. About the speed balance a bit. Keep it at wet. Is it gonna be wet for the? Yep, it looks like it's gonna be wet for the rest of the race. Okay, our driver strategy is gonna be high and high, keeping the wheels at neutral. Hopefully the tires don't die out on us. It's 11 and 12, or is it 10 and 11? I think it's 10 and 11 at this point. 20 laps to go. Perez somehow or other managed to jump to 18th, but Ramsey gets back at her quickly, and she's now down to 19th again. Really short run there. This is a shorter course compared to the other lines, so let's hope we can actually take advantage of everything with just the one stop. I would really hate it if we suddenly have to suffer through most of the runs here because we made a mistake in stopping. Vosu almost got through, but he can't get past Vidal's defenses there. Gansler is now up on 13th. Elsadot jumping up to 15th. Now getting past that home hairpin. Esteva and Billy fighting for fastest lap as we start lap 2. Ooh, Vidal is just about ready to go. Yep, Vidal is now at 18th. So we'll have to push up our drivers a bit more. Tire wear, not much of an issue. Tire heating is definitely a problem. Getting a little too cold out here. Vosu and Perez on the fight there. Vidal just about ready to lose it. Ooh, Ramsey blocking them at the last second. Couldn't get there. Now Vosu is 20th. And now we're starting lap 2 with Vosu and Perez also fighting. Ooh, Vosu going for that straight. Vosu and Perez exchanging positions in the 18th and 19th spots. 83%. We've still got a lot of racing to go. Should we keep it at push for both of them? Not too confident. Perez about to have some overtake problems with Vidal here. Ooh, snatching 17 from that hairpin. And now Perez is at a good spot to get into 16th, but also Dot just a bit in front of her. While Sue, meanwhile, having some issues getting through, finally switched out on that small hairpin, getting ahead of El Sadat, or rather Vidal, but now with El Sadat in a way, can he join his teammate in the middle? Nope, that overtake on the out turn. Yeah, no, Vosu couldn't keep it because of the hairpin, and now Perez is at 15th, just behind Gansler. We have 17 laps to go. Our tire wear is still pretty decent, all things considered. And now there goes Perez at 14th. She could jump ahead in the front line here. Probably switch out early if we're fast enough, but she's behind Fondi. Oh, Vosu goes to 16th, taking over Lormore and Gansler. Really trying to keep up the front line there. But Perez is still on the bottom half of the line. Only 66%. We're still at 55. I think we can go to neutral for this one. Ooh, couldn't get past Fondi on that outer corner, and now she's struggling getting past him in the straight. Ooh. Right there's Perez. She's now 13th. Vosu drops to 17th as Lormore gets ahead of her gets ahead of him on the long corner. Perez up to 194 miles an hour. Not exactly hot stuff in this weather, but we had to conserve our tires, and we're still in lap 6. Vosu gets one over Lormore, now back to 16th, but can he keep it? I don't think he can. El Sadat blocking him. Perez is up to 13th. No, she's down to 14th again. No thanks to Fondi. And now it's 14th, 15th with Vosu just behind Perez. We're starting lap 7th with a tight squeeze up. Really showing their advantage in the speed zone here as Fondi gets overtaken again. Schober is still blocking things up. Now there's going to be a bit of a drop here in speed by the looks of it as we get some drying up around the end of lap 10. Now Perez is at 13th and Vosu at 14th. Fondi still going in for a hot run. Now there's a fight between Takabayashi and Schober. Schober gets ahead of Takabayashi. Sa still at 10th. Now it's Perez and Vosu still fighting. It's Schober. Oh no, it's Takabayashi blocking everybody here. Now we're starting lap 8. With the road starting to dry up a bit. Might be a good time to push up a bit more here. Just to take advantage of everything. And now Takabayashi gets overtaken by both of our drivers. Nope. Manages to block Vosu on the late braking there. And now Vosu is struggling to get ahead in the straights. Almost got it, but he got blocked at the last second on that chicane. Now let's see if things are starting to look up for everybody else up front. It's now lap 9, 13 laps to go, and now the track is starting to get really dry. Vosu jumps ahead of Takabayashi, and he is now at 13th. Perez is at 12th. Looks like Takabayashi, El Sadat, and Gansler have already switched out. Going for slicks here. And Perez and Vosu still getting blocked up in the middle here. Rain's kind of lightened up a bit. It's gonna be a need to switch out to slicks sometime around lap 10 maybe. Now we're starting lap 10, 12 laps to go. Doesn't look like it's going to be raining for a bit more, so we might have to switch out to slicks after this. Probably at the 11 or 12. Switch her over to mediums. Fill the fuel tank up. Then let's go that low speed corner. Bosu will go at it later around lap 11. I'll put him in slicks. Kevin softs, that is. Perez drops to 11th with Bosu at 12th. Schober still up front. Takabayashi, Sa, Lorimore, El Sadat, and Ganser have switched out to slicks. Silvera seems to be switching out to slicks as well. Bosu drops to 13th as Vidal gets ahead of him. Starting lap 11 with some of the mid-pack already switching out. Bosu is now at second, Bilyu ahead of him rather. Can Perez at least keep her 15th lap spot? No, wait, hang on. She goes up to 12th by the looks of it. 11th rather. No, she's gonna be stuck at 12th. Not a bad spot, but could surely use a bit better on the hardware. How's Bilyu, by the way? Bilyu still running 34%. I think we can switch him over. We'll switch over when Bilyu switches over, I think. Perez is defending 12th from Ramsey. Ramsey pretty much heavy out there. Griffin ahead of her now. We're splitting up, switching to supers. It's not a lot of spots to work with. Why don't I hit the brakes instead? Nope. Still nope. Nope. I definitely need better pit crew here. They're pretty much eating our times. Nope. We're gonna lose third. Now we've only got 10 laps to go. Ooh! Oh, that doesn't look good for Onblad. He's been having serious problems all season, and now his parts are on fire. Perez now up to 11th. Right, excellent boost there, but Perez needs to work her magic if he wants to go back at it. Vosu is now at 17th. Perez at 10th. Can she jump up a bit higher? Not looking too hot for everybody. Vidal is currently at fastest sector, but where is he? Well, he's at 6th. Perez trying to keep 3, make that 4 cars behind her stop for a bit as we are down to 9 laps. Still have enough fuel for both of them. Let's hope we can keep at it until the end, though. Have to put Vosu a bit up. Hornblad managed to fix things up with his parts, but he is way behind everybody. 69 seconds behind, in fact. Perez drops down to 11 as Tia Nuna jumps ahead of her. Now it's 8 laps to go. We've still got a lot of racing to do, but I don't think anybody's going to be switching up positions here. I don't like our prospects here, to be honest. That early rain would have been much more effective for a later run because that's where our drivers seem to be shining recently. Bilyu keeping Perez on her toes here. Perez having trouble accelerating. Keeping up with everybody else as we go into lap 15. A lot of racing to work with. Bosu having trouble keeping up with everybody else. The rest of the pack have switched over to mediums. They're not exactly running on decent turns here. Ooh, looks like Perez had a bit of a scare with Bilio on that slow corner. And that scare turns up into a reality as now Bilio is ahead with 6 laps to go. Unless some sort of accident or magic happens here, there's no chance our drivers are going to be able to push further. Speaking of pushing, we have to increase tire wear or tire temperature up here because the tire's a little too low, at least a little too cold. While Sue now behind Gansler, just a couple of seconds or a couple of milliseconds behind him, speed-wise. Perez drops down to 12th again after Billiard jumps ahead of her on that short corner. Now we're at lap 17. Bosu up to 16th out, taking over Gansler. Perez getting ahead of Billiard. Now Bosu is stuck behind Ramsey. Are we sure we can actually run this? I don't think we can. 4 laps to go. 56% left on tires here for both of our drivers. Perez getting some extra push-ups here, but she's not in a good spot to lead. I don't think she can jump further. Unless those ahead with their soft tires suddenly drop. Perez looking at Lormore. Vosu jumps to 13th. 3 laps to go. Can Perez get better points out here? Uh, 46% left. Fuel is now down. Nope. Can't get through on that straight, and Perez is still stuck at 11 behind Lormore. Sa and Tianuna switching places. Perez having trouble using her brakes. While Suge still at 13th with Bilio ahead of him rather, and now it's 2 laps to go. Uh-oh, somebody's smoking. Looks like Sa is having some parts issues out here. Now Perez is at 8th, Vosu is at 11th. Make that 10th. Everybody else has pitted up on the back there. Hornblad definitely having issues after having to switch out early. Now he still have parts problems. And now we are approaching the end game. 1 more lap after this. Can our drivers at least get to 3rd? Very unlikely. Last lap. Can they make it home? Perez is now at 7th. Can she stay there? Bosu having trouble getting past Billy, who is now down to 10th. Perez 27% left on tires. Race is over with Marsh, Esteban, and Vidal closing out here. Perez going down to 8th. Alright on the points there at least. Not too shabby indeed. Keeping... Perez goes down to 4th, unfortunately. Despite all that, they still managed to keep their spots in. But Marsh taking advantage of everything and coming back strong after that disaster in Tondela. She's now hoisting the trophy for the Milan Cup. At least our drivers aren't complaining about their spots, but the chairman is definitely not going to be happy. Let's see. Nope, no problem with the engineers there. Chu managed to get fastest lap bonus, but that doesn't do much. Let me just review something. We're still on top. We're still 23 points ahead of Vexala. And Octane Racing still having issues. You know, we definitely need some wins. Now, either we can do one more run today, or we can probably try one more run, but if it doesn't work, we can just postpone it to tomorrow. But I think let's see. Let's look at our calendar. Okay. Mechanic relationship will drop for Vosu, I feel. 9%, it's dropping. Marketability dropped. Happiness is down to... almost got third. At least the chairman is still within a good happiness factor, but our money's going down a bit. Ooh, Panther getting 1 over Steinman for the Phoenix leg of the World Motorsport Championship. Lipponen is still on top at 44 points. Tanakuchi, though, dropping a third after Parisi got a better point from him. And now Rossini is in the pack up here. But Panther Racing Team getting a 1-2 definitely jumped them ahead, with Windsor dropping a 6th and 7th, respectively. Meanwhile, in the European Racing Series, that's us. Didn't really do a lot of work here. We're part of the top 3, but we are still in the top of the drivers and team championships. Just need to get a few less points so we can drop in the teams championship here. Okay, we've got the Black Sea Cup. Let's look at those messages. How many more races? Wait, hang on. Okay, well, Sue drops to 32%, by 32% rather. Perez drops by 37. Not too bad, but I definitely need some fixing of that. He's an interesting driver, and we may look into it one day. Although, yeah, that's gonna help. That 7 seconds slower. We did have a mistake-free weekend, thankfully. Do we want to do a work on it? But we can't get this here. Engines. How's our car parts so far? We're pretty low, right? Yeah, that's overall. Overall, we're currently in the middle of the pack. 5th overall, 6th overall on top speed, and 6th overall on low speed corners. We can't really do much about that. We have to invest in new parts, or rather we have to invest in new kits soon. We still have 4 races to go, so I think we can run Black Sea and then leave the last 3 races to tomorrow. We have a slot empty for sponsors. Marketability is still pretty decent, though. Car repair is finished. How's our car improvements working still? 10 days before race. My car repair is complete. Oh, Esteban's leaving Vexala? Seriously? Okay, what do we want? Well, we don't have anything to do. We're pretty much done for everything. I mean, I could invest in another front... We could probably invest in another pair of front wings. Increased reliability and cost of increased red zones is kind of annoying. I need something better. Reliability drop, no. gonna drop reliability though. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's only reliability in red zones. I need performance, not reliability. And as you can clearly see here, we got a good wing that... oh wait, no, the performance there is 10. What? No, it says here 136. Oh, that's the other illegal part, but why do I get this? Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's let the factory staff rest for a bit. Sponsorship offers now. Sep Oil, upfront payment 6,500. 6,500,000, but they don't have a fixed pay per race. Ashima has a fixed pay of 300,000 for at least 13 races. And Bango has 1.5. Hang on, let me get my math. So 6 pay per race and 13 races. That's 3,000. 39,000. No, 3,900,000 total. Sep Oil, if we divide 65 by 11. So it's 11. Hang on. My calendar. Let me grab a calculator. $6 million divided by 6.5 million divided by 11 would be 590,000 per race. I think we have a good jump here. So let's go with the Sep Oil. Yes, that's gonna be helpful. But that's gonna be enough for sponsorship. Now 6.5 million. That's gonna make the chairman happy. I think we can leave the. We can probably do one. Try one run of the Black Sea, and then leave the last of the 3 races for tomorrow. Search for modeling job. What? Yeah, we need a wind tunnel. I've been asked to do some modeling for Chiffre. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice package they're offering me, I gotta say. Chiffre is the best underwear company around, so I can't wait to get out and shop my stuff. And you never know, you might even help us pick up some new sponsors. Okay, that increased the marketability. Yes, thankfully. Okay, Vittorio Corsa's Cora Allo have whispered to us here. 39-year-old's retirement is on the cards at the end of the season. She's looking forward to putting her feet up and spending some time away from the media circus. We're still in first. I don't like that, to be honest. 26 laps. I'd probably be a two-stop race if it comes to it. Though I honestly would prefer a one-stop run. All the crucial parts for this are race is spec, so it should be an extremely close race. Soft and medium. Yeah, do I want to get wind tunnel now? Because honestly speaking, I could use this 10 million to get a road car factory instead, but let's look at our standings. Hang on. I need to check something real quick. What are the rules for the other 3 series? Okay, current rules: medium length practice, medium length qualifying, 31 lap races on average, 60 miles an hour pit lane speed limit, semi-sequential, high merit, double points for the final race, bonus points for the driver in pole, low profile tires. They're pretty cheap. 12 dry tire choices. Virtual safety car, that's nice. Refueling lasts up to 8% of race distance, which means, well, it is going to increase our fuel racing costs, but I think we can handle that. Driver aids allowed. Oh no. Weight stripping, standing start. Yeah, okay, I'm good at standing starts, but driver aids. Brutus performance-focused tires allowing slightly more speed on the track, but they're not as durable. Free tire choice, points for top 8 only. Spec race wing or spec rear wings. That's pretty much the only spec rear wings. ERS. Ugh. Drivers are eliminated after quarter 1 and quarter 2. Oh no. That was next year's rules. Replacing Yokohama with Black Sea, last place bonus payments. Well, that's a problem because we don't have the parts for all of these. I need to stay in the European Racing Series for the time being because I cannot get up there. So we'll probably wait until we can get a road car up, and then we'll decide whether or not we need to get up there on the lanes. But I am pretty much, yeah, I'm not very confident about getting a run right now, and I'm not too sure I want to go for a wind tunnel, even with the extra money here. Driver feedback improvement is a big boon. I really need the road car factory, though. We'll have to see. Let's go for the time. Let's go and run ahead for the time being. See if we can. Wait, hang on. No, I don't think I can run. I can run Black Sea right now. I'm afraid. Looks like there's something that just came up. Ooh, Panther's jumping up there. Cleveland is now up to 5th. Just 1 point behind his teammate, though. Parisi getting something for Scuderia Rossini is now in second, or getting a more strong, getting a stronger second place position here with 40 points now. Tanakuchi, though, staying behind him pretty closely with 38 points. So that's going to keep Steinman Motorsport still on top, all things considered. And here comes the Asia Pacific Super Cup. We got Ribeiro from Ruiz Motorsport getting both getting the pole position bonus. Xiambi from Ozu getting a rare win for the team, and he's now at second. And Amy McLeod from Kirov is at third. Not enough to knock out the current leaders, though. Armoa, despite not scoring much, was not scoring at all, actually. He fell down to 18th. He's now at first place. Perea, it's a very, very contentious first place spot, though. Only 1 point ahead of Perea, who is now up to 40. Could be a really tight spot there. Anything else I need to worry about? Well, despite the fact that we did suffer some drops there, at the very least, we're still in the running. Here's hoping that in the next 4 races, we could at least go down a bit more, or just a little over the 3rd spot, as we enter the home stretch. and hopefully avoid promotion a little too early because we are so not ready for the the Asia Pacific Super Cup with our current HQ and our current income. Anywho, I guess that's all from me for the night. Thank you so much for dropping by. I know I kind of went a little early, but that's because things got switched around a bit, and now it's time for me to pay the piper, and I gotta go now. I thought I was gonna be able to run at least one more race, but real life happens all the time, and well, I have to focus on that first. Nonetheless, I sure hope you had an enjoyable time dropping in, checking the crazy stuff. I did expect things to be a bit crazy with the roads, but I did not expect a lot of crashes this session. Thankfully, it's not our drivers. Hopefully, for the last 4 races of the season, they'll be able to stay through or stay on the roads and avoid any serious mishaps. Any hoot, if you got any complaints or violent reactions about the stream tonight, please drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv so I can tell what needs to be done. If you've got was it? If you got a hankering for older streams that have already expired here on Twitch, please please check the VOD archive linked in the About tab of my profile page, or you can search it on YouTube under the same name, Twitch Lurk at Work. By the way, if you're currently watching the VOD, thank you so much for dropping by. Sorry for the rather poor performance, and well, it's not exactly super exciting watching most of the slower drivers roll through some rainy roads, but at least we did get some crazy last minute runs there. And here's hoping we don't have to worry about the last few races. And hopefully you can also drop by for the next few VODs, or probably check out the actual live stream on Twitch. By the way, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream, or who just wants to complain about PNG streamers in general, please, I would really appreciate it if you can share my channel, twitch.tv/lurk at work. I think that's all for me for now. Tomorrow we're definitely gonna try and finish the 2024 season. Hopefully we'll have a good enough spot and stay somewhere within the European Racing Series, so might be a chance I'll have to throw some of the races then. That's all from me tonight. Lurk at Work is now RTV. If you're still in the mood for some action stuff, I can send you over to somebody who's currently playing. What game is this? A game called Motion Twin? Looks like some sort of action platformer, so if you're interested in that, I can send you over there now. I guess that's all from me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Stand by for those who are about to be sent over.